This is Kurt Rapp with the Tile Doctor, and we're here today in our office to talk about the Litolevel system for leveling tiles. This is very, very normal in today's tile world to have these large unit tiles, and you need to have a leveling system in place to be able to draw the lippage out, which we will demonstrate for you in a minute. It's a three-piece system altogether. This is what it looks like, but there's three components. You have the base system, which goes underneath the tiles, and then you have the cone, which goes on top of the tiles after your base is set. There's a friction area that will actually adhere well to the tile and not move once you start tightening the nut. And then so the nut goes on last, and that's where you tighten down on the system here. So you can see them installed right here. It comes in different size systems. This is 150 units of each. So there's the full system here, 150 shows of the base, the nut and the cone. And then these units here, this is 250 units of the consumable product, which is the base alone. We also sell this in a 500 pack, and this is a 250 pack of the nut and the cone. We have a brochure of this, and it's online showing how to estimate the quantities needed. In the brochure, it gives you you take the sides of the tiles, and then you punch those into this chart, and it gives you how many of these units are needed per 10 square feet of floor surface area that you're setting. That will vary based upon how the tile actually is, whether it's somewhat level or if it needs a lot of adjustment. You may end up needing more on this in the actual end. There's two ways to remove the product after it's set the next day. You can actually take a mallet or your foot and just literally kick it over, and you're breaking the base, or you remove the nut and the cone and then you kick it and the base breaks off, and then you're good to ground.
Okay, so here's today's thin gauge porcelain panels. Notice the thickness. They're 3 millimeters, plus they have a fiberglass backing on the back of them. These are unique because they require leveling also, and they are very susceptible to lippage because they're large panels. These come up to 4 foot by 8 foot inside. But you notice on the edges here, they're fairly flat, but in the middle, you generally have a lippage issue somewhere in the installation that needs to be addressed, because something like this is that large. Notice you can push it on a flat surface. So while the adhesive's drying, you need to have a lippage system in place. The Litolevel system enables you to have the lippage addressed simply by placing this unit underneath. I'm going to slide this in to the installation. And one of the big advantages of this system is the cone system has a tooth on it. So it actually bites onto the tile. And then your tightening mechanism, which is unlike anything else in the market, is actually the nut. And it will actually bring the tiles level, but there's no friction applied to the tile. Other systems where you have a wedge or you have the cone that actually tightens, you can actually move the tile while you're tightening down. That's not what you want. So this system has a big advantage in that no friction on the face of the tile. So we flatten it completely out now. And we'll do the same thing on this edge here, just to kind of show you how it works. Again, we're doing this just on a flat table to show you how bad the tiles can be when you have a flat surface. And on the job site, generally your slab is never flat, or your area is never flat, so you've got an even worse situation. So this is kind of the best case scenario we're getting here, having a nice flat surface that we're addressing. So I tighten that up. We've gotten rid of the lippage everywhere in the system.